Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Brad Halls. You probably know because you clicked on my channel, and obviously, I'm the one hosting. Hello, it's been a while. How are we all doing? If you're doing well, good. Yeah, this video's just kind of something I've done before. Quite repetitive myself. I did one of these this year or last year. I think it was this year for the Royal Rumble. And it just so happened to be one of my most viewed videos. So, might as well jump back on the trend and give my predictions for the biggest party of the summer, Summerslam. This is for all the WWE fans out there, by the way. So if you're not a WWE fan or you have no idea what I'm talking about, this could be the inside lore into the WWE, or you'll click off and never watch this video. Either way, thank you for watching. Anyways, so this is my opinion on what I think we can expect from WWE, from the creative board of WWE, and also the superstars. Starting with one thing I saw last night on Monday Night Raw, the Judgment Day. It is inevitable now the Judgment Day are going to split up. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. Finn's going to turn on Damien. Damien's going to turn on Finn. Or Rhea and Dom are just going to do their own thing and turn on them both. But what I think is going to happen is we're going to get one of three matches for this. We're going to get Finn versus Seth, and Damien's going to cash in. And that's how I think we're going to get the turn. Finn's going to beat Rollins, Damien cashes in. Match number 2, Finn versus Damien. Either way, these three matches are going to include Finn Balor. And I think with this version of Finn going into SummerSlam, we're going to see the Demon. If not, we'll see him after SummerSlam if Damien turns on him. And I think we'll see Finn v Damien. That'll be a brutal match because it'll show the war that's going on inside the Judgment Day compared to what the WWE fans are quite involved with. So yeah, I think we're going to see one of those matches, or we're going to see Finn versus Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins. And if that happens, I think Seth Rollins is going to come out on top with a lucky win. But if we get Finn and Damien, I can see Finn and Seth, there we go. I can see Seth Rollins losing the championship to either Damien, to Damien when he eventually cashes in his Money in the Bank briefcase, which, fuck you WWE, it should have been LA Knight. Or Ricochet. I'm a big Ricochet guy, so it's going to pain me to what we're going to talk about next. But yeah, Damien's got the briefcase. We're going to see Damien cash in at SummerSlam. I guarantee it. It is. Paul Heyman used to say, it's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. I think that's what's going to happen. And there's going to be some tension over the next few weeks after SummerSlam. Eventually, the Judgment Day will be popped, gone, disappeared. And what I think we can expect after that is Damien goes on a massive singles push, Rhea goes on a massive singles push again, Finn Balor's left to mingle or even go into a feud with Damien, and I think something that needs to happen is send Dominic Mysterio down to NXT. I think he'll do amazing in NXT, especially with some of the high-flying ability down there, and even put him in a feud with Kamala Hayes. That could be quite interesting. I think it's the thing that Dominic needs the most is that I know he's had the experience from Rhea, from Eddie, from Edge, from Finn, from Damien, Rhea, but I think we need to see Dominic push by himself and not hide behind Rhea Ripley. So I think we could see Dominic Mysterio in NXT after SummerSlam. That's the Judgment Day. The guy could just make that a whole video in itself. Next one. Logan Paul and Ricochet. This whole thing between these two started at the Royal Rumble. That unbelievable stunt that those two pulled where they springboarded and just collided was phenomenal. It was absolutely amazing. Like, those two, like, I like Logan. I don't mind Logan. There's some stuff he's done in the past that I question him for and, like, obviously don't respect. But as an in-ring performer, he's so good. He's so good. And I think now they've put him in a feud with the best person they can get him. Ricochet. Because you've got to look at this, like, Logan Paul, high flyer. He pulls some crazy stunts. He's one of the best high flyers in the game at the moment in the WWE. But then you have got the best high flyer, Ricochet, who is more crazy than anyone. Like, you give that man a fucking ladder and he'll transcend anything that, like, Jeff Hardy ever did. I think we're going to see a match between them two. Obviously, the brawl that they had on Monday Night Raw, the brawl they had backstage after Money in the Bank, the botched move after during Money in the Bank, the Spanish Fly botch, I'm meaning, and just the feud that they've had since the Rumble. I think we're going to see a very, very interesting match. I won't say we're going to see a Ricochet versus Will Ospreay number 2, because I don't think Logan has that talent that Will Ospreay has. But I think we're going to see a match that will be getting the crowd chanting holy shit or this is awesome. Because I think those two will create something like this, like this chain wrestling move that we saw with, like, Ricochet and Will. But we're going to see him with Logan, Logan with his amazing wrestling background, especially in, like, the high school wrestling, and also the boxing, especially fighting Mayweather, KSI. I think we're going to see a little bit of that mixed in with Ricochet's high flying and his technical ability. Because Ricochet, people do forget, Ricochet is an amazing technical wrestler. He is unbelievably underrated. Like, not to sound like a Ricochet fanboy, because I am. I don't care. I think come Money in the Bank, the highlight for me during the Money in the Bank match was Ricochet and Logan Paul. So I think that's going to be the highlight of SummerSlam, will be Ricochet and Logan Paul. Like, there's going to be some good matches, there's going to be some great matches, then there's going to be the Ricochet and Logan Paul match, which is going to be the best match of the night, in my opinion. They're going to pull off some crazy stunts, and in my prediction, Ricochet is going to get the win. Actually, I'm changing that. Logan Paul's going to get the win, because the man is due a win. He hasn't had a win since SummerSlam last year. So, and I can expect, I hate to say it, but I can suspect an injury to happen during that match. I can suspect, because with them being so talented in the way they fly about the ring, anything can happen. And I suspect Ricochet to do something fucking stupid. And 9 times out of 10 will injure himself. But it's going to be a great match. Like, I cannot wait to see it. I'm excited to see what Ricochet does with his gear, because I know he's prone for making comic book references in his gear. Logan Paul will probably still come out in the same usual that he usually does, but I can't wait. I can't wait to see what Ricochet and Logan Paul accomplish with this massive thing that they can do together. And I think it's going to show that Ricochet is underrated and Logan Paul is one of the best. That's what it's going to display for people. Next one. I've got a list here, by the way, so I'm just firing off from my list. Roman Reigns. Roman fucking Reigns. I strongly dislike this man. He's a great human being. Joe is a great human being. Roman Reigns is a shit character. I get the whole tribal chief thing. It is great. But in my opinion, Roman could benefit a lot better from being the big dog. He was a lot more hated. Hated. He was a lot more hated. He couldn't get boos out, but now he's this superhuman. It screams a lot John Cena. Look at back in the day. John Cena was hated. Biggest babyface in the company. Babyface, for people who do not watch wrestling, a babyface is a good guy. And a heel is a bad guy. Which you are going to see me mention quite a lot. But I think there's something about Roman that is just completely like kayfabe. Like, he lives this character. He is the tribal chief. Until The Rock comes back eventually. Rock, we're waiting. Bitch, we're waiting. We need you to come back. At your own pace, obviously. But I think what we're going to see from Roman at SummerSlam is the match against main event Jey Uso. After Jey Uso pinned him finally at SummerSlam. Not SummerSlam, Money in the Bank. Roman hasn't been pinned by anybody. And he's faced some of the best. Daniel Bryan, John Cena, Logan, he's faced Seth Rollins, he's faced some of the best in the industry. But what I think we're going to see is Roman eventually dethroned. Jay, in my prediction, Solo Sikoa will turn on Roman Reigns. I'm predicting that, and you're going to see Paul Heyman go absolutely mental, and Jimmy Uso pulling a few little strings, but inevitably we're going to see Jey Uso as world champion. I think now with this storyline going on, I think they can't make the Usos tag team champions again. It just wouldn't make sense. Like, the Usos now the second hottest tag team in the game, behind Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. But what I think we're going to see is a very brutal match. You are going to see a war match. We're just going to see the worst beatings we're going to see in WWE. With us now adventuring out of the PG era back into a TV-14, I think we're going to see Jey Uso get absolutely obliterated by Roman Reigns. He's going to be close to beaten. Like, there's going to be times where Roman's going to have him in a guillotine, spears, Superman punches, pin him, but he will still keep kicking out. Right? Every time we're going to see him get to 2 and it's going to kick out, or like 2 3/4. We're going to see that fiery anger of Roman Reigns. But at the same time, we're then going to see, when Roman's tired and is beaten down, we're going to see main event Jey Uso. We're going to see the man who pinned Roman Reigns. We're going to see arguably one of the greatest tag team in the world. Like, in my opinion, and I'm saying it right now, the best tag team in the world is the Usos. Like, fuck AEW. Like, literally, fuck them all the way. The Usos are the best tag team. Always have been, always will be. I think now the Usos are on the level of the Hardys. They're on the level of the Dudley Boys. They're on the level of Edge and Christian. They're on the level of the Road Warriors, the Hart Foundation. You mentioned those 5. You have to put the Usos in there. They have just broken everything. Like, if you're a wrestling fan and you do not know who the Usos are, there's something wrong. Or you just don't watch WWE. Which, if you're a wrestling fan and don't watch WWE, I'd question. I'd question you very much. But to be fair, I never used to. I used to watch TNA. So, and then I got back into the WWE. So, yeah, what I think we're going to see is Roman eventually lose his title. And if it doesn't happen at SummerSlam, we're going to see Uso come close. We're going to see Jay come close. But I think SummerSlam will be the best time for Roman Reigns to lose it. That's all I've got to say about that. Next one. I think a return is going to happen. And that return is going to be Bray Wyatt. Obviously, he's been out on injury for a very long time. And WWE haven't teased anything. And WWE have not been teasing anything about it. But I still think into the little lead up of SummerSlam that we've got left, we're going to see little hints towards Bray Wyatt. And we're going to see little hints to the most sadistic Bray Wyatt. Even if it's not the cult leader, Bray, we're going to see the rise of Uncle Howdy. Being, in my opinion, Bo Dallas. Who, obviously, if you know, in real life, Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt are brothers. And so I think we're going to see Bo Dallas come back and Bray Wyatt. And I think Bray is going to interrupt something. Just at the end of the show. Like Roman Reigns beats Uso, or Uso beats Roman Reigns. Lights go out. Everyone's like, what the fuck is going on? The Fiend. Or Uncle Howdy and Bray Wyatt appear. Or the Fiend appears. Or the Firefly Funhouse animals all surround the ring. And we're going to see the most evil, demonic Bray Wyatt. Like when at Raw 30 when Undertaker whispered something to Bray Wyatt. Like I kept saying to myself, that's the Undertaker passing down the torch. That's the Undertaker going, there you go. It's your turn now. Be like me. Right, because the Undertaker back in the day, back in the 90s, obviously I wasn't born yet, but I watched a lot of WWE. The Undertaker was a sadistic fuck. He was terrifying back in the day. I grew up with the Phenom. So I grew up with like, I won't say I was kind of born around the same era as like the biker Undertaker. But when my dad showed me classic Undertaker, I was terrified. I used to be terrified of the Undertaker. And now he's one of my favourites of all time. He is in my Mount Rushmore of wrestling. So I think we're going to see a demonic Bray mixed in with a hints of the viciousness of the Undertaker. Like Undertaker in his prime vicious, mixed with the creepiness and the unsettling thing. Right, you'll be backing away, going, "Ooh, this is a bit creepy." Bray Wyatt, because we all know that man is a creative genius. If you do not know Bray Wyatt, just research some of the stuff he does for his characters. He goes on extensive research. The man is a genius. And he's probably one of the best creative minds of all time in WWE. Along with Taker along with Kane, along with people who are just that creepy, you cannot even look at them. And Bray has that uncomfortable part to him that you're like, I'm not sure about this. Yeah, I don't really know, Bray. Like, but he has the comedic moments as well, such as the Muscle Man dance, which, is it bad that I know every word to it? I don't think it is. Hello. But yeah, I think we're going to see the return of Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy being Bo Dallas. That's all I've got. So, the next thing I want to talk about is the one final run. Edge. And it upsets me and it pains me because Edge has always been one of my favourites. I went to a WWE show in 2006 in Newcastle, England on John Cena's birthday, and the main event was John Cena versus Edge. And everyone was cheering for Cena and everyone was like chanting John Cena. I was cheering for Edge. Edge has always been one of the best, in my opinion. Right, in my opinion, the man is the greatest. Right, always has been, always will be. So when I saw the video he put on about this is it, this is the final time, and he wants to end it his way, I think this is how they start the story. Fuck the whole finish the story for Cody Rhodes. Like, Cody, I'm going to get onto that in a minute. But I think this is where the story starts for Edge. We're going to see Edge have the best 9-10 months of his life, from SummerSlam to WrestleMania. We're going to see Edge have the greatest run he's had in years, ending at WrestleMania next year at Lincoln Financial Field, winning the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and that's it. That'll be Edge done. He would have wrote that final chapter in his career, and it's a fucking good career that he's had. That'd be the dream booking for Edge. SummerSlam, it starts. WrestleMania, it ends. And we just see the greatest version of Edge that we'll ever see. So yeah. Next, Cody Rhodes and the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. Hands up if you're kind of getting bored of the whole Cody and Brock thing. I'll give you a second just to put your hand up. But yeah, me. Yeah, I'm kind of getting bored of this now. Seeing the whole Cody versus Brock thing. It just reminds me of Brock versus Goldberg. That's all it reminds me of. Is Brock versus Goldberg. Or Brock versus Cena. WWE, if somehow this reaches you, please end this fucking feud. It's boring. At least if Brock was in his comedic role, it might be interesting. But seeing Cody go from the best few months he'd had, the Royal Rumble winning, all the way to WrestleMania, the feud with Roman Reigns, to then awkwardly be just, there's Brock, there you go, have fun. It was just like, why? What's like? I get it. Brock turned on Cody during a match, but like everyone was like, yeah, it was cool at the time. It was fucking brilliant. Like Brock just showing the beast again, not the cowboy. But it was the case of sat there going, do we really want to see Brock versus Cody again? Not really. Not really. We don't really want to see it. But fuck it, you're going to give us it anyway. What I think we're going to see is Brock. It's just Brock win. And I hate to say it because Cody is talented. I do like Cody. But I think we are going to see Brock Lesnar take out the American Nightmare. And that's when they're going to put Brock with someone else. Even for Brock's... This next feud for Brock could be his final run. It could be his final time in the company. It'd be a poetic way to go out. Give him someone that will give him that kind of challenge. And I think giving him Cody isn't the challenge Brock needs. He needs someone big, strong, dominant. And there's only one name I can think of. A returning Biggie. Or Gunter. You can't lie. It's a match you would like. Gunter versus Brock Lesnar. We saw it at Royal Rumble. Those two got in the ring together and everyone was like, oh shit, this is going to be fun. And then it never happened. And we were all like, oh fuck. Right, okay. Fair enough. Because Bobby Lashley had to ruin it. Bitch. I'm only kidding, Bobby. I love you, really. My favourite. My boy, Bobby Lashley. Sorry. I've always been a Bobby fan. Leave me alone. I've loved him since ECW. That was back in the day. Jesus. I haven't heard that name in a while. ECW. Jesus. Unless Paul Heyman's on the fucking microphone and then it's chanted. But what I think we're going to see now is Brock just obliterate Cody Rhodes. Like, we're going to see that beast incarnate that went up against John Cena and suplexed him, I think, about 27 times. We're going to see that version of Brock. Like, the man that will, like, just take his elbow pad and play head percussion because fuck it, why not? Like, the survivalist aggression. Yeah. We're going to see that kind of Brock again. With the hints, the tiny little hints of the comedic genius that Brock Lesnar actually fucking is. Because, I hate to say it, because there is a lot of comedy wrestlers, mainly R-Truth, but it pains me to say Brock Lesnar is one of the funniest wrestlers. He is a fucking lunatic. But we're gonna see Cody after this feud, fingers crossed, finish the story. And I know I've just said screw finish the story because I want to see Edge, but I think we're gonna see a finish the story with Cody Rhodes and potentially Damien or Finn. Depends who's champion. Or if Jey Uso doesn't win, Cody should be the one to dethrone Roman. And then Cody has a decent run as champion, loses it. Maybe in like 6 months. Holds the title for 6 months, loses it. Potentially at the Rumble next year. And then we see a beautiful match at WrestleMania next year. WrestleMania 40. So yeah, that's basically what I've got for Cody. And give me a second. I don't think I've got out else on my list. I do not. I don't have out else on my list. Sound. Oh no, I do. Drew McIntyre and Gunter. WWE, for all things holy, please give Drew McIntyre the championship. Just give him it. Just don't even let him beat Gunter. Just go, there you go, Drew. Merry Christmas. Like, Drew McIntyre deserves it. And then Drew could go into an amazing feud with someone like Sheamus. And then they have this beautiful poetic match that those two only know how to do because they're just crazy Brits. Well, they're not British, but they are from Great Britain. Drew is. I don't think Sheamus is. He's from Republic of Ireland, so he's not a fucker. Yeah. So I think we're gonna see the Brawling Brutes, Drew McIntyre, and we're just gonna see them be pushed together after Drew beats Gunther. Or we're going to see Drew versus Gunther at SummerSlam. Imperium get involved. Next thing you know, Brawling Brutes music hits. Takes out Imperium. Just literally runs down. Wipes out Imperium. Or Riddle. And I think if we see Riddle come out, we're going to see a feud between someone from Imperium and Riddle. My guess is probably Gunther, because the other two don't really do much. They have a couple of matches, but that's about it. So, yeah, that's what I think we're going to see. And then later in the year, we're gonna see, fingers crossed, a return from Randy Orton. And I think when Randy Orton returns later in the year, bye-bye Riddle. Like, Riddle will be taken out by Orton. I think Randy Orton is too much of a sadistic bastard to give a fuck, basically. The man will just RKO Riddle and just be like, he had it coming. Come on. But yeah, that's everything I think we can predict from now till WrestleMania to fucking everything, because I explained just random bullshit then. We're going to see a lot at SummerSlam. We're going to see a lot. And the final thing before I go was from Money in the Bank. WWE, bring WrestleMania to the UK. Sincerely, everyone in the UK. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Look after yourselves, look after each other, stay happy, stay healthy, peace, and a good night.